After what has been a relatively quiet start in the year in terms of new game releases, gaming news, and just everything in general, expect things in the gaming world to really heat up as we head into the summer, and it's kicking off with the Summer Game Festival 2021. That is beginning June the 10th with the Showcase event. We'll talk about that, expect some big reveals, big game updates, and everything in between. And also, a major PlayStation 5 enhancement update has been released. The Last of Us Part 2 is now enhanced for PS5. We'll talk that at the end of this video. But first of all, Summer Game Festival 2021 will kick off on June 10th at 11 a.m. Pacific Time, 2 p.m. Eastern, with a live world premiere showcase event hosted by Jeff Keighley. The event has been announced, and you will be able to watch it on YouTube and pretty much, I would imagine, every major streaming platform. Partners for the 2021 edition of Summer Game Festival includes a star-studded lineup of publishers, and the showcase will also feature more than a dozen world premieres and announcements from select publishers, a performance by Weezer of a brand new stream-safe game soundtrack song that can be freely streamed without losing monetization, and a Day of the Dev showcase of new independent games with I Am 8-Bit, Double Fine Productions, and more. So let's run down all of the studios and publishers that are going to be at this event. 2K Games, Activision, Amazon Games, Annapurna Interactive, Bandai Namco Entertainment, Blizzard Entertainment, Capcom, Devolver Digital, Dotemu, Electronic Arts, Epic Game, Finji, Frontier Developments, Gearbox Software, Hi-Res Studios, Inner Sloth, Koch Media, Mediatonic, Microsoft, MiHoYo, Psyonix, Raw Fury, Riot Games, Saber Interactive, Sega, Sony Interactive Entertainment, Square Enix, Steam, and I would imagine Valve by extension, Tencent Games, Tribeca Festival 2021, Ubisoft, Warner Brother Games, and Wizards of the Coast. Holy hell, do we have a star-studded lineup there. Yeah, Microsoft in there, Sony in there. The only one that I'm really seeing missing from this lineup is like Nintendo. And generally speaking, Nintendo has usually done their own thing as far as revealing new games, but this is a loaded lineup. When you got Sony, you got Microsoft, and you got, the 2K Games, the Activisions of the world, all the top studios in the world, Bandai Namco, and top publishers, I should say. This is going to be a loaded event, and remember, we also got E3 coming up, so June is just going to be absolutely insane for new game reveals and announcements, world premieres, and this is really their opportunity to build up that excitement, build up that hype as we head into the fall, because all of these different studios and publishers are going to be putting out their major games in the fall. And we really need to see what that fall lineup is going to be. When is Horizon Forbidden West coming out? Is God of War still a 2021 title? Probably not. I'm going to press X to doubt on that one. Final Fantasy 16, is that going to be 2021? Probably not, since Final Fantasy 14 Endwalker is in November. But yeah, there's a lot of games that still are shrouded in a bit of mystery, and we need to have actual release dates because we're almost about to head into June. This event is on June 10th, and this is around the time you really start to lay the table of what's going to be coming in the fall. Now, I'm sure a lot of games are going to be slated for the fall. They're going to be delayed into early 2022. Typical stuff that does happen every year, and of course, in this era that we're living in, it's a little bit more common than not, but you still want to at least have a general idea of what is coming in the fall, and I would imagine some top-level stuff would be coming this holiday season. I would imagine from a Sony standpoint, their big game this holiday is going to be Horizon Forbidden West, and that's going to be incredibly exciting. That is going to be a PS4 and PS5 title, so even if you only have a PS4, that's going to be something to look. I'm going to play that on PS5, and it's going to look incredible, I would imagine, at 60 frames per second. That's going to be super exciting. And Microsoft, what's Microsoft going to do? Halo Infinite, what's the status of that? What is their fall lineup going to be? What are all of these different publishers, what do they have in their back pocket for the holiday season and even into early 22? I look at a Bandai Namco, and man, they got Scarlet Nexus at the end of June. They got Tales of Arise in the beginning of September. What about a Elden Ring? I don't know if we're gonna see that. I probably would press X to doubt on that one. Honestly, I gotta see it to believe it with that game. But still, Capcom's gonna be there. What are they gonna show off? There's just gonna be a lot of cool stuff shown off, because so many developers and publishers have remained incredibly quiet over the last few months, and really for all of 2021, it's just been silence out of them, but they're working behind the scenes on some top-level stuff, especially for this holiday season, early into 2022, so hopefully we do see a majority of those games, not only at this event, but remember that E3 is coming up. Sony's definitely going to have their own event of State of Play, I would imagine, sometime in the summer. I'm sure Microsoft is going to do their own thing. EA is going to have EA, Fan Fest or whatever. not FanFest, but they're doing their own streaming event, so they're gonna show off a lot of stuff, Battlefield 6 and all that good stuff, so there's just gonna be madness, I feel, over this summer, not only in terms of we're getting some top-level game releases, Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate, Ratchet & Clank, Ninja Gaiden Trilogy, even that Dungeons & Dragons game, Biomutant is coming out soon, so things are really heating up after the last few months have been really quiet in terms of gaming, but I imagine the next 2 to 3 months, June, July, August, I think it's going to be absolute madness in the gaming world as far as announcements, reveals, and even game releases. Lastly, I do want to note that The Last of Us Part 2 PS5 enhancement update is now available. You can now play the game at 60 frames per second, or if you, for whatever reason, would still like to have your 30 FPS experience, they are going to allow you to toggle between 30 FPS and 60 FPS. I would probably recommend to play at 60 FPS, but that's up to you. Once a version 1.08 update is installed, when playing the game on PS5, you will find a toggle in the display options that allows you to choose between 30 frames per second and 60 frames per second targets. Whether it reaches a maintainable 60 FPS, that remains to be seen. Other updates, and not only is the FPS being upgraded, other updates include enhanced resolution, faster load times, of course because of that SSD, and more. Noted by Naughty Dog, the team has been digging into the PlayStation 5 hardware and the possibilities it unlocked since launch last year, and we're excited about what the future holds. This patch is just the first step of working on the PlayStation 5. We'll let you know when we've got more news to share. Kinda interested to hear what Naughty Dog is working on. Are they doing a new IP? Are they doing Last of Us 3? Are they doing a new Uncharted? Maybe a different studio is working on Uncharted. Naughty Dog has been the kind of studio that does want to jump from new IP to new IP. I know Last of Us Part 2, one of the most controversial games of this generation, of the past generation. I honestly think Last of Us Part 2 was more controversial than Metal Gear Solid 5. Metal Gear Solid 5 had controversy for different reasons. Last of Us Part 2 was just, man, it was one of the most divisive games that I've ever seen. It was literally you loved the game or you hated the game. I didn't see anything in that middle ground. I didn't see a lot of people giving it like, oh, it's a decent game, it's a pretty good game. No, it's either you thought it was Game of the Year or you thought it was one of the worst games of all time. Pretty incredible how that happened. I wasn't a big fan of it, but it's not something I dwell over. I know a lot of people had a lot of investment into The Last of Us, and I can understand why. If you were unhappy with some story decisions or some decisions made with the game, that you would, dwell on the game and you would be really, really upset. But, for me, it's on to the next one. There's going to be games I like, there's going to be games I don't like. Last of Us Part 2 was unfortunately a game that I wasn't a big fan of, but a lot of people were a big fan of, and hey, to those people, more power to you. Enjoy the game, and now you can enjoy the game at even higher frame rates and better visuals. That's gonna wrap up this one. Again, Summer Game Fest is kicking off June 10th, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, and Last of Us Part 2 has seen its PlayStation 5 upgrade. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.